you can't change the past. And no matter what you do, you can't completely control the future. So what you need to do is live in the moment. So throughout my experience when it comes to school, ranging all the way from elementary school to middle school to high school and even in college, I've suffered a lot with a lot of mental health problems. And that's not just mental health stemming from a genetic disposition to a psychotic disorder. No, I mean other much more common forms of mental illness and issues with mental health, like depression and burnout and anxiety. So I just wanted to create this video in my new series that I'm going to be calling DBT Sundays. And DBT, essentially, is dialectical behavioral therapy. It's a type of therapy that focuses on 4 main categories. Today we're going to be focusing on mindfulness. And mindfulness is one of the categories that a lot more people are starting to learn about because it's becoming a little bit more popular and a little bit more mainstream. That being said, I'm not a doctor, so don't expect something I say to be the end-all and be-all. Let me just say. I'm just going to say what worked for me. And in my experience, being able to be mindful of your current situation and being able to let go of whatever is stressing you out is so incredibly important, especially when you're surviving school and when you're suffering with anxiety and burnout. So, let's get into the video. What is mindfulness? Mindfulness is being aware of the current moment. Essentially what it means is you are acknowledging all that is in the moment, ignoring your past failures, ignoring your past mistakes and the depression that comes from thinking about your mistakes in the past, and abandoning the anxiety of what may happen in the future and focusing on now, what is in the current moment. And that is a skill that I've had to learn throughout many, many years and throughout 3 hospitalizations in a mental hospital. And that's essentially why I know all this stuff. It's because I've been in a mental hospital for a long time. I wasn't in residential, but I was in certain programs where it was extended, not just 1, not just 2 months, but 3 months. And it wasn't a very, let's just say, traumatic experience. It was a bit anxiety provoking in some parts because you're forced to open up, because in a mental hospital you basically do group therapy all day, and so it's a bit anxious to opening up to people. But regardless, mindfulness is being aware of the current moment. And I'm sure a lot of people have heard in the past stuff about, depression is focusing on the past and anxiety is focusing on the future. And yes, that's true, but it's a very, very simplified version of that. Depression comes from a feeling of hopelessness because of something that came from the past. And an expectation, and anxiety is an expectation of what could happen in the future. But that's exactly what it is, the past and the future. You can't change the past. And no matter what you do, you can't completely control the future. So what you need to do is live in the moment. And something that helped me live in the moment was being able to do this 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 DBT coping strategy. It's called 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Essentially what you do is you take your 5 senses: sight, hearing, smell, taste, touch. You take those senses and you count them off. 5 things I see, 4 things I hear, 3 things I smell, 2 things I don't know, touch, and 1 thing I taste. You go in a descending order all the way down, and you stop and think, and you focus on what's happening in the moment. What do I see? 5 things I see. Okay, that's gonna get your mind thinking, what can I see? Can I see a bookcase, a computer, a lamp, a sharpener, a keyboard, a phone, anything. And you name all 5. And then you go down 1. 4 things I hear. I hear the wind, I hear the trees, I hear my voice, I hear my heartbeat, I don't know, I hear a dog barking outside. I know there's more than 4, but regardless, you get the idea. Essentially what that does is it forces you to live in the moment. It forces you to take all that you have in the now and focus on it. And that essentially that's what mindfulness is. It's focusing on the moment. Something I had a problem with, that my psychiatrist agrees I have a problem with. My highly credentialed psychiatrist who has been doing psychiatry for a very long time. Highly credentialed, and it can come off as a bit cold, but something that she says is you need to learn to let go. You need to learn to let go of the past, and you need to let the future be. So, that's DBT Sundays. Hope this was interesting. Hope this helped you out in some sort of way. If you want to look it up, you can look up 5432 on coping mechanism. It's a very helpful one for you to think about, and there's also different variations on it. Sometimes it's not necessarily 5 things you sense, but five things that you only see, but you name off for different colors. Like maybe you see 5 blue things, 5 red things, 5 yellow things, 5 black things, 5 white things. You know, there are many different ways, but the main point of it is to focus on the now. So, I hope you enjoyed. DBT Sundays. I'll be doing a little series called DBT Sundays. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Ohui ho, malama pono.